I will post the Facebook. Add video to your post. Not now.
Yeah, sure. Push it over.
Yeah, we'll just add some porn or something to the post. See how that plays out. Okay, then.
Okay.
All right. All right. Retweet with comment. What do I want to say? This is a tough choice. I don't know what to say.
Yeah. I gotta open my Twitter. Hey, if I'm talking to you right now on Google Hangouts, right, on my phone, could I still
Okay.
get a phone call if my phone rings?
Yeah, it'll kind of put the video call on hold,
Okay.
and then it gets to be the John show.
All right. Well, if that happens, because I'm on call for work, that's what happens.
All right.
Sorry, it's just this is what it has to be till I get a new job. Oh, look, there's a tweet. Everything is all mixed up. Fap mishap. Someone asked me the other day, like, "Hey, how much time do you spend working on those fap lines?" I'm like, "Spend time? What the fuck are you talking about?"
That would involve, actual effort behind them.
Like, that would mean I know what the hell John's gonna post about the show.
Fuck, I don't know till 2 minutes before.
Oh, you guys don't talk about that? I'm like, no, he doesn't know till 2 minutes before.
I know what we're going to talk about. Usually, like with at least an hour before.
Yeah, but you don't know what you're putting for the tweet.
No.
Yeah.
Usually, it's just something silly to entertain myself or something on topic. Because I know we're talking about Elseworlds. It's kind of no brainer that it'll be Elseworldsy.
I don't even know we were talking about Elseworlds.
Well, is there something else you'd like to talk about?
I have no idea. I just we didn't play. I mean, I didn't know we were talking about it. I just happened to watch it out of boredom yesterday. So,
if you hadn't said that, I would have hit like Death of Superman or whatever.
Oh, that's fine. We can do both if you want.
We'll see how much time we have.
Okay.
But we still haven't talked about Creed 2. We still haven't talked about Death of Superman.
All right.
But all right. Script. Because I had to flip. All right. Here we go.
Gotta flip the script. I don't know. You said it. I didn't say it.
In 3.
You say things and then I pick up on it, and then you're like, why would you pick up on that? Of all things.
3. You're not interrupting? Okay, good. 3.
Did you want me to? I mean,
2, 1. Welcome to Geekodrome. Geekodrome is the weekly roundtable discussion of all things geek. I am Jon Stugots, and he is just John.
Sup?
What's going on? So this week was the big Elseworlds on the DC Berlantiverse, Arrowverse shows. And did you get to watch them, Stugots?
Yes.
What'd you think of it?
Hey, so this, I don't watch these shows regularly. This was my first time seeing their Superman. I don't know if has he appeared before?
I want to say I think so, but I don't watch Supergirl. I've seen screenshots before.
So. Okay. And the dude who played their Superman, I thought he did a very good job, He wasn't it wasn't terrible by any means. But overall, I thought the crossover was great. I was wondering why Legends of Tomorrow wasn't in it.
I don't know. There was one character who crossed over. I guess they just didn't want to include them, or it
Yeah.
just didn't make sense in the story. But the bartender Gary
Yes.
is a regular on Legends,
Okay.
who works in the Time Bureau.
I love the little things, like those little touches and details that they do, like when Supergirl is in Batwoman's office, and she picks up the Bard statue,
Yeah,
and it's like, oh, that to me was it's a cool little detail that I know that, I mean, I know they put it in as like homage to fans, like myself, but I just love that. I love that little stuff. There was a couple of them, and I kept pointing them out to Jen, and then we would pause it and I would explain what it was. And man, those little things I love, because it's like, to me it's like, well, that's how much the writers of the show care about the characters. They care about the characters as much as fans do.
yeah. So there were references to Smallville and Batman 66. I don't think there
Yeah.
were any other references to the characters.
Wasn't there a Mr. Freeze gun somewhere?
Was there? Maybe I don't remember. Let's see. There was the fear toxin.
Yeah, the fear toxin, the names on the cell doors.
Yeah, the names
in
on the
Arkham,
cells,
which I thought were cool too. The Wi-Fi password is Alfred.
Yeah, that was funny.
Those little things to me, just it matters.
Oh yeah, it makes a more established universe.
Yeah.
No, I get that. Like, as long as it's not something that takes you out, like,
Definitely.
intentionally. So, like, it does, like, things that don't need to be there, kind of things.
Yeah.
That are just fan service.
Yes.
So the things I loved were how right from the beginning of the episodes where they changed the intros.
Yes.
So for Arrow and Flash, the two characters flipped. So their intros
flipped. Yes.
which was hilarious to me, that they bothered to re-record the entire intro with the other actor.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. Watching them try to be each other.
Yeah. Definitely awkward as that was. Yeah. It was supposed to be.
But that's what made it great, just the awkwardness of it. So you had, Arrow trying to be Flash and Flash trying to be Arrow, and neither very good at it in the beginning.
Yes.
And it's just like, but that's me. I'm me. You're you. And then when they're actually doing the stuff, they're doing it the way the other person would. You failed this city.
Well done.
I like that Green Arrow was just, a lot of it was just, Batman's a myth. I'm the first vigilante.
Yeah. And Jen asked me, she's like, what's that supposed to mean? And I told her, like, how the Arrow series is very much a ripoff of Batman. It borrows a lot from Batman, including Batman's villains.
Oh, yeah. And again, I don't watch Arrow, but as far as I know, they've never really referenced Batman in that show.
No.
So,
and you'd think Ra's al Ghul would make a reference to the detective somewhere, even what's his name, Deathstroke, would say something, a reference, just so you as a fan would be like, oh, he's out there.
So again, I only watch Flash and Legends of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
But as far as I know, this is the first time they've ever done anything with Gotham.
Right. It is.
Okay. I could be wrong again.
I don't watch the shows. I just did a lot of research.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so it was cool that they showed the Wayne building.
Yeah.
Even though usually the cave was under his mansion, not the office building.
Yeah.
So that was all right. But yeah, but the touches of the
lost my headphone. Sorry.
Again, the Shakespeare statue was also very funny to me too.
Mm-hmm.
Did they have the red phone? I don't recall seeing.
No, I didn't see a red phone anywhere.
Because that would have been the other thing. It's just like, all right. They did make reference to Commissioner Gordon at some point.
Yep.
They showed the bat signal, which was kind of cool.
Yep. Yeah. Very cool.
And really, I'm kind of curious how this is going to spin out into a Batwoman TV series.
I would love to see it. I thought, what's the girl's name that everyone was pissed off? Got the part.
Ruby Rose.
Yeah, I thought she did great. She definitely had a dark side to her. You know, um, I thought she did well.
Yeah, I just wish there was more of her in it.
Yeah, I loved how at the end of what was it, Supergirl, they teased her again
Mhm.
of when she calls Green Arrow on the phone.
Yeah, yeah.
I
So
don't know who the dude in the mask was though.
okay, so the guy in the gold mask
Yeah.
is the Psycho Pirate,
Okay.
and he is a major catalyst for Crisis on Infinite Earths in the
Oh,
original
okay.
comics.
Okay.
So that was more of a fan thing, like either you knew or you didn't.
Okay.
But like they showed him at the beginning of the episode escaping, and I'm like,
Yes.
I kind of who is that character? Like that mask is kind of familiar.
Yeah.
And then at the end, I'm just like, oh, because as soon as they start to say there's going to be a crisis,
Yeah,
I'm
in
like,
the fall. The one
yeah,
thing I thought was stupid was, and this isn't a knock on the show at all, was the people who watch it, as it happened or as it aired, tweeting about first of all tweeting spoilers, and
oh,
secondly, I mean it's one thing 5 days later, 4 days later, whatever, but in the moment, like not cool, like doing a live tweet of reviewing. But people were pissed off, or not pissed off, were like, oh wow, they totally they just teased it for Crisis, on Infinity Earth, and it's like, oh no, it's a straight on fucking promo at the end. There's nothing teased. It's, hey, this is coming.
yeah. Well, no, it was teased, and then they showed the logo,
Right. They
and then it
teased
was
it,
confirmed.
and they teased it earlier on. I know that, like I want to say, in the Green Arrow episode, they teased it. Okay, which would have been fine if they left it that way. But at the end, it's a straight up promo.
Yeah,
The graphic comes on the screen telling you what's coming. So it's not like, oh, they teased it. No, they set it up.
yeah. No, if they had just left it at "there's a crisis coming,"
Yeah, then it's like, oh, they left the cliffhanger.
then,
Nice, I
then
love it.
yeah, then it's a tease.
Yeah,
As soon as you show the logo,
it's like, hey, no, this is the direction we're going in.
yeah, and we're gonna have to wait a year to see that anyway.
Yeah. But what do you think Green Arrow had to sacrifice to make the scales even?
That's a good question. I don't know. So the problem is I don't know the character well enough on the TV version
Yeah,
to really say like his motivations.
I think he has to sacrifice
character.
his wine company. Shit that I can't remember the name of to make my joke funny. Never mind.
He has to sacrifice his comic book convention company, Heroes and Villains. But yeah, it's just the problem is I don't know.
Nodding Point. He has to sacrifice the nodding points.
I'm very disappointed. There's not an arrow joke in there. Like,
I guess because it's a point. Maybe that's the arrow.
But if he called it knocking point,
Yeah,
because you knock an arrow,
yeah. Maybe that's what. Maybe it is, and I'm pronouncing it wrong.
I don't know. I honestly didn't even know he had a wine company.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well.
Oh, maybe maybe it's not. I don't know. Let me see. I'm waiting. There's two things loading up. One. All right, Knocking Point wine. Yes, it is Knocking Point. Sorry.
Okay. There you go. Because
Okay.
because you knock an arrow.
Yeah.
That's when you put the arrow on the bow. So I used to do
Yeah.
it.
Walla Walla, Washington. Yes, that's it.
All right. Well, that just makes its own jokes now.
It does. I mean, that's how I knew it was, because 4 or 5 different things came up for it. So I wanted to make sure I was giving you the right information. So I looked at the where the company was, and I know from the day drinking show, we reviewed 1 or 2 of their wines because they have like a wine club. And I remember it was Walla Walla, Washington. And after I was drinking a little bit, saying Walla Walla, Washington on camera got to be a little difficult.
Well, after you have a bottle or two, sure.
Yeah, it's like Washa Wallington. So,
well, I think you just need to practice your drinking more.
I'm trying.
Can you ever really have enough practice?
My old band teacher, Mr. Hershenson, used to say, practice doesn't make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect.
Well, then you'll have to get on that.
If you practice something incorrectly, it doesn't matter how many times you practice it. You're still gonna.
Well, we'll have to have some perfect drinking going on.
Yes.
So, overall, what did you think of the story?
I liked it. It was because it was all fun, So, and I'm not a usual viewer of these programs, so it definitely worked as far as grabbing some viewers. Will I keep watching like regularly? No, I'll just watch the next crossover. Um, as far as that goes, but yeah, I mean, it wasn't. It probably wasn't perfect, but man, it was a lot of fun to watch, without a doubt.
Yeah, so I do regularly watch Flash, and I have to say, just this one 3 episode story was so much more fun than
Yeah.
the long, drawn out 22 episode stories. Like, just like last season, by the end of it, I just didn't care about the villain. I just wanted it to end.
Who was the
And
villain?
last year it was the Thinker,
Okay.
and this year it's Cicada. And
Oh,
again,
like,
I'm
does it make that sound like the things do in the trees?
well. That is how the character gets his name,
Oh boy,
because when he attacks,
that
there's
sounds
that sound.
that sounds fucking annoying.
Yeah, well, it's not on a lot,
Oh,
but like even now, like we're halfway through the season, I really don't care about this character, this villain. I just want him to finish him off and go to the next one. I like XS on the show that they brought her on for the season
yeah.
as Barry and Iris's daughter from the future, but
Okay.
like I just don't care about the main villain, and it's just becomes more and more evident after we're what 12, 13 weeks in or whatever,
Yeah.
we're halfway, and by the end I just don't care about the villains. I like the character bits, and I like that the show is fun, but just the story just gets so drawn out.
Yeah.
Like I would love to see them split the season into 2 villains, so you have 2 stories per year.
Yeah. Like Agents of Shields. The Shield does.
Yeah, well, Agents of Shield even almost does it into 3.
Yeah.
So you have, and each one
And
tends to
and
get
it,
better.
and it still connects.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying they should, because I mean obviously it's a forward moving show,
Yeah.
and even the previous seasons connect into the current seasons.
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't need to have a 22 episode villain.
No.
I mean, even Buffy the Vampire Slayer that kind of started this whole trend.
Because you wouldn't have that in the
Yeah.
comic books.
Well, depends.
You wouldn't have a villain. You wouldn't have a story arc go over a year's time unless it was gigantic, like the Nightfall series. Arc. It started with Nightfall. It went then into um, Night's End, and like the whole thing took over a course of a few years, but it was gigantic. It changed the status quo of the character.
Yeah, well, the problem is that comics don't work like that anymore.
Oh, they
Like,
don't.
there just aren't that many long term stories anymore.
Right, that's what I mean. So then why try that with a TV show?
Because with TV you can binge, and they expect people to just binge when it's over.
Yeah, but I don't know. It just seems like you can go a different direction
I agree, and
because obviously it works.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's just like I just want to just enjoy the show. I want to see the Flash fight villains. I want to see
Yeah,
King Shark and Gorilla Grodd.
Grodd might really be my favorite villain.
Well, he was so damn good in the couple of the Flash episodes.
I've watched those. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, but it's
There's
just
just
like
something about it. Maybe it's because I'm a big Planet of the Apes fan.
I think it's because it was a solid story. It was fun, and because of the budget involved in a Gorilla Grodd story, it's contained within an episode to 2 episodes.
Yeah,
Because he first appeared in season 2. It was a 1 episode story. Season 3, it was the 2 episode where they went to Gorilla City.
yeah,
I want to say. So it's just great to have just those short, self-contained stories.
yeah.
And I mean, it's a problem. Like you can't just jump into TV anymore.
No,
Like
you gotta set it up.
I mean, is there any show you can watch that's currently running new, casually?
I don't know. I just watched Elseworlds crossover casually.
Okay.
So I guess if you're me, you can.
But you couldn't do that during the normal season. You can do that for the
I
crossover.
I did it for the Gorilla Grodd episodes.
Bastard. All right. Besides these two that we've just talked about,
I've done it for the Green Arrow episode where Cody Rhodes was on because I'm a big fan of and supporter of Cody Rhodes.
I think he's been on a few times, hasn't he?
Yes, but first time I did it, it was like, oh, it was just one episode. But now he's been on. I think this season's been on 2 or 3 episodes. Thinking I casually watched them without knowing exactly what was going on.
Okay, but besides these Arrowverse shows, is there anything you can just jump?
I mean,
into?
you're gonna keep making it until you prove your point.
Well,
I'll keep
no,
bringing
but-
up stuff we casually watch.
But you're talking about the same show, the same like 2-3 shows, and I'm just saying, like besides these.
Well, I don't watch any shows.
Okay.
It's not like I'm a TV watcher to say, oh yeah, I don't casually watch anything. I only watch what I want to watch, and that's it. I'm not a channel flipper. The TV isn't on every night. You know.
Yeah, but it's like, all right, All in the Family. You could jump in any episode and
and watch
the characters in the first 2 minutes. They don't,
Yeah.
and watch an episode. You can't do that now.
Well, what are sitcoms now? Like, could you do that with them?
I don't really watch sitcoms, but the few that I catch here and there.
So I'm going to say you can do that then, since you don't watch. How do you know?
Because there are sitcoms on that I don't watch.
Right.
Like I'm with family or something and they're watching it. Like the problem is everything is long-term story. Like even sitcoms. Like
I don't even know what sitcoms are on right now. Like I wouldn't. So you'd have to tell me one.
So my family did the holidays last Saturday. Right. I get to my parents' house and my brother-in-law is watching The Connors. And I can honestly tell you, I almost had no clue what was going on. Never mind that I watched Roseanne, 20 years ago, whatever.
Right.
I haven't seen any of the reboot.
Right.
And beyond knowing who the characters are, like it's not something I could have just jumped into and known what was going on.
Oh.
Because, one was pregnant and, the sisters, I mean, some of the plot was easy to access. Like,
which Becky did they use?
There was no Becky in the scenes that I saw.
Oh.
But it's just like to know, like these characters now all have like big histories.
Yeah.
Like it's not like, he's the funny guy. She's the sexy girl. It's everybody has to be fleshed out.
Big Bang Theory. You can just watch one episode of that because I did that a few weeks ago. I mean, I hated it, but I knew what was going on with the characters.
Yeah, but even they
you can figure it out pretty easily.
Yeah,
without doing research on them. They're like, this is the annoying obsessive compulsive guy. Oh, this is the annoying shy guy. Oh, this is the annoying overly sexual guy. Oh, this is the annoying effeminate guy. Oh, here's the hot chick. Oh, here's the annoying girlfriend. Or here's it all fits. Yeah, you could do that with some shows.
All right. Because when I've tried to, it's just like even Big Bang. It's like I caught an episode and they were like getting ready for a wedding, and it's like, all right, well, I don't know who anybody is or who's getting married, but good for you.
Assume it's a non-major character.
I thought it was the major characters who were.
I have no idea. I didn't see the episode. If I did, I would have been able to figure it out.
I don't know. I had to turn it off. The show's kind of unwatchable.
I think for some stuff you can, and you can just casually watch and know what's going on, and some stuff you can't. These serials, I don't know how you do it or why you would do it with sitcoms. The whole purpose of them is that they're self-contained and encapsulating. I mean, I guess All in the Family somewhat did it with like Gloria's pregnancy, but I don't know. It didn't.
Yeah,
that didn't seem like much. But there were some other things about All in the Family. I'm only using it because you brought them up. But later on, when they adopted her niece, what was her name, Danielle? The fact that her dad was a drunk and would come in and out of her life and take whatever money he could from them. Like that was an ongoing theme,
Yeah,
her cousin Maud being a outspoken liberal feminist, that was an ongoing thing, even though she wasn't always around. They made reference to her other times.
It's like the Brady Bunch. There's always references to things, but you only see the main 8 characters in every episode.
Yeah, well, there was 9. Good.
9. Yeah. Well, I forgot about Alice.
Yeah,
10 on the last season.
10 if you count. Well, 11 then if you count Sam.
Sam wasn't really that much of a regular. He showed up like every few episodes, but not every episode.
He was regular.
he was like regular guest star. He was not,
Yeah.
Regular cast member.
Right. So I'm just showing you how you're wrong about TV, and you're going to keep making it so.
No.
And giving examples of how we are right, but you're not. You can casually watch TV
wrong.
today. I don't casually watch TV.
That's the problem.
Watch it.
Yeah. See, the problem is I don't. So it's just like
right. So for you think people can't, but people do it every day. People watch casual things. It's just not our lifestyle. Our lifestyles are different. I mean, honestly, the TV is. I get home from work Monday night at about 9:30, 10 o'clock. I watch a half hour Raw and go to bed. Tuesday nights, I try to watch some of SmackDown because I love Becky Lynch. And
she's the man.
She is the man. And I end up not being able to watch any of it because I get home late and the TV isn't on until the weekend.
There you go.
I come home from work and we just listen to music most nights.
I hear you. No, I usually I watch a movie or something if I'm home alone. But
yeah,
that's the difference between living alone and living with other people.
Yeah, but Jen's the same way. I mean, we just today we were cooking, and all of a sudden she just played some Willie Nelson music on Amazon Music.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
To us, that's better than even trying to find something to watch on TV. The TV got turned off 3 times this afternoon, and so we remembered that we were halfway through watching Mary Poppins the other night. Actually, it was like I want to say it was a week and a half ago that we watched the first half of Mary Poppins. And because it's just, again, that just shows like we have a movie that we watched half of. Yeah, we'll get back to it eventually.
Was it supercalifragilisticexpialidocious?
It always is. Chimney.
Sounds good.
If you slow down Dick Van Dyke singing that Chimney song just a little bit, it sounds creepy. It would sound creepy as hell. Would
he sound drunk or just creepy?
I think it would sound creepy. He sounds drunk in this movie anyway because of the accent, and it's not his real accent. So right off the bat, he sounds a little drunk because he's trying to speak normally and he's not speaking normally for himself. So, but it definitely sounds creepy if you were to slow that down.
We'll have to see if there's a YouTube video of that.
Just the one scene where he's looking up the chimney, going chimney. Chimney, chimney. That's like something a serial killer would say as they peel your skin back off of your fingers.
All right. Well, now Mary Poppins has become a horror movie.
Oh, there's something to it. And they never explain how Bert knows Mary Poppins.
That's true. He just knows her, doesn't he?
He just knows all about her, knows that she's going to be there for the wind change. There's definitely some sort of sexual tension between the two of them. Something. Maybe a ball gag action. Something was going on between them that we don't know.
Well, the sequel comes out next week, so maybe it'll be in there. I
can't wait to see 90-year-old Dick Van Dyke with sexual tension with Emily Blunt.
Well, but he's not playing Bert.
Well, I know, but he's in the movie.
Yeah. So the thing, you reminded me of. He looks now exactly like he did in the old man makeup.
Yeah, he did. I was just about to say that.
As soon as you brought this movie up, I'm just like, oh God, I saw these stills, and it was just like, oh my God, it's the exact same.
He looks exactly like the father banker.
That's it, the banker. Oh man,
Toppins, give me the toppins.
I haven't seen Mary
Poppins. Get on with
it. It has to have been at least 30 to 40 years since I've seen Mary Poppins. So
I would have to say it's probably closer to 30 for you, because 40 would mean then you haven't seen it since you were 5.
It's possible.
I don't.
Between 5 and 10.
I think you've seen it.
What?
I think you've seen it more recently than 40 years ago.
35.
I'm not saying you watched it like today, like I did. I'm saying a span of time is definitely less than 30.
I mean, I haven't seen it since I was a kid.
40.
So 30 to 35.
And so, like, did you ever see Saving Mr. Banks?
I still haven't seen that.
Oh.
I want to. I just haven't gotten around to it.
I mean, you watch it, and then it's like, because this is why, maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I got on a Mary Poppins kick. I watched Saving Mr. Banks twice, because it was just on, and then it's like, oh shit, now I gotta see Mary Poppins, and then you're like, oh shit, like you start to see the parallels. I never read the book, so I have no idea what the book is like at all. But
Neither do I.
the that Saving Mr. Banks movie it's like it's really touching. It really is.
Yeah, no, it looked good from the previews. I don't know, never got around to seeing it or whatever, but I'd wanted to. I have nothing against it. There's a lot of movies I avoid, but that wasn't one of them.
Yeah, like Ella Enchanted.
I have never seen Ella Enchanted.
Yeah.
I saw Enchanted.
Oh, that's the one. Yes.
Yeah, that was. I watched it. I believe I reviewed it on this podcast at one point.
Yeah. I only watch movies with Disney princesses.
Yeah, well, it's unfortunate that one doesn't have one in it.
No, so I can't watch it.
No. Well, I guess at the end, the other character becomes a princess, but
Yeah, but she's not a Disney princess
no,
Princess Leia is a Disney princess.
has not been made a Disney princess yet.
I know,
not an
but
official one, but
I mean, that would make sense. A case could be made
yeah,
for how she is a Disney princess.
yeah, and it's just a matter of time, really. Give it a few more years.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they just don't want to cross over like Disney and Star Wars. But once it gets to that point where they're just kind of melding more,
yeah,
then you'll see that. But they're still trying to keep the properties separate.
Yes.
But hey, Star Wars Land opens in next fall.
Yep. That would be a good way to kick off the opening of it.
I could see that. Although there was an article, I want to say last week, 2 weeks ago. So I forget the exact numbers, but when the Star Wars area opens, the capacity is going to be, I want to say like 19, 20,000 people.
Yeah.
But they're expecting about 200,000 people per day wanting to get in there.
Fuck.
Yeah. So it's just like, how are they going to decide who gets in? And it's definitely
obviously, if you are a wealthy white person, you're getting in. You know, it's just like America. They're not letting brown people in.
Well, you know, if you have thousands of dollars to just toss aside,
they will build a wall. It's all over the news, John, how they're trying to build a wall. Why do you think it's so important right now to build that wall? You have to restrict the amount of people that are going to try to get into Star Wars land.
Oh, is that why they're building the wall to protect Star Wars land?
You have to start somewhere.
And we're starting with Star Wars land.
No, you're starting at the Mexican border.
Oh, so the line starts there to get into Star Wars land?
It's going to. 200,000 people wanting to go. You have to limit it somewhere. So you draw a line must be drawn here. Just like Captain Jean-Luc Picard said in First Contact. That's what Donald Trump has said. And he's going to build that wall to limit the amount of people that can get into Star Wars land, or else we'll have bedlam.
And there will be 4 lights.
4 lights. Man, that episode was creepy.
It's probably the best episode in all of Star Trek.
Man, I just felt terrible. I felt terrible for Jean-Luc.
I know, but still, it's probably the best episode of the whole series.
It definitely was powerful. No doubt about it. I mean, I say creepy. I don't mean like, sexual or anything like that. It was like, man, they're torturing this fucking guy.
And you totally see like the torture, how people really get tortured.
Yeah.
Which was what was so powerful about that episode.
They didn't gloss it over at all.
No. And like literally he's about to break in the last like 5 minutes. When all of a sudden that call comes in and you're just like, oh.
So bad.
So good.
Yeah, I know.
All right. So to bring it back where we started, the Arrowverse crossover was great.
Yes.
Can't wait to see Crisis. Any other thoughts about the Elseworlds crossover?
What do you think the goal for the Crisis is going to be? Is it going to end up that they're all on Earth 1? Just to make it easier for these crossovers?
No, I don't see that happening. Although I will say, Legends did make a joke about not being included in the crossover
okay.
in their episode this week.
Yeah.
Which I thought was very funny. Something like somebody called, oh, it must be the annual crossover.
Yeah.
And then things go haywire on their ship.
So it's like, oh, we were going to be in it, but we missed the call.
Well, they got the call, and then they got stuck in a time thing because...
Let's do the time warp again!
Because John Constantine goes back in time, changes something, and now, like, the whole time stream is messed up for them, and they need to keep going.
Is Constantine going to be... I know they tried this a few years ago. It didn't work. But do you think they're going to try to make another Constantine series?
I don't know. So they did the one 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Then he made a couple appearances on Legends last year. He's a regular this year. And there's going to be a cartoon series on CW Seed, like, next month. So I guess they're still trying with him.
And the animated movies with Constantine were great.
Yeah. Oh, no, definitely. I mean, it's a great character.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see, what the response is between Legends and the animated series.
Okay.
Online. But I think they still want to do Constantine. But yeah, I mean, he works well with the Legends. I'm enjoying that series.
Okay.
But yeah, like there's very little I didn't like about the Elseworlds.
What?
Like, it just showed like where the rest of the series are kind of like glaring, like letting down, like lesser. That's a good word for it. Although Superman crushing the coal at the end in the Superman 1978 movie homage was cute.
Yes.
How did he get a perfectly cut diamond out of a piece of coal?
And a setting. Where did the gold setting come from?
Well, I'm guessing he had the setting somewhere else because he comes from off screen with the setting.
He doesn't have pockets.
But they were in the Fortress of Solitude. It is his house, But it's a good thing that he put that in, and it just stayed in perfectly.
Yeah.
Closed the setting or anything.
Yes. You didn't see him go. Eek.
Yeah, he just puts the diamond in and goes, "This is for you."
Yeah.
I did like the actress who played Lois Lane, though.
Yeah, they did great.
I liked how
I liked the Justice Lord Superman outfit.
Yeah, that was cool when it was Dr. D.
Yeah,
as him.
I like the dude who played Dr. D because he was from Lost, and I like most of the people from Lost.
Can't say that there's a single bad one out there.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I like how the intro to the first episode of Arrow was pretty much the intro to Smallville.
Yes.
Like it was a riff on the song and coming in on the farm. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, it's like you could tell they were just having fun with this.
Which is what it should be.
Yeah. And I wish, they did that a little more often. Like you could tell they have fun making the shows, but they take them a little more serious when it's, their main show as opposed to the side stuff.
Yes.
And I'm glad that this was not like the Arrow 100th episode special again. Because when they did that last year, I had no fucking clue what was going on in the middle of the crossover.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that?
No. Oh, is that what? Shit. Yeah, don't remember it. There was nothing memorable about it.
Yeah, exactly. So the whole thing was like Flash, Supergirl, and Legends all led to this big story, but Arrow in the middle of it was having their 100th episode. So it was a whole big flashback about like Arrow and what's happened to him until now, and he's having all these dreams of flashbacks and reliving moments. And it just was like, okay, but I don't watch these shows, so I feel like I'm being pulled out of like the main story.
I guess they were hoping that like, hey, we just recapped 100 episodes for you, so now you'll start watching.
Maybe. I didn't. And apparently neither did you.
Yeah, I don't even remember it.
Well, hopefully we'll remember this next year when we go into Crisis.
I won't.
But, well, if you won't remember this, will you remember Hot Picks?
Shit.
You didn't remember Hot Picks.
Yes, I remember Hot Picks. I have a great hot pick.
What is your hot pick?
Into the Spider-Verse. This movie came out, and it is just taken off like wildfire. Everyone is abuzz about this movie. There's an after credits scene. There is a Stan Lee cameo that people just started crying in the theaters about. And I have to say, everyone has to see this movie.
Have you seen it yet?
No. I have one day off. It's
I know.
I know. Do these things. I saw Creed 2 yesterday, thinking that, oh, well, if we both seen Creed 2, maybe we'll talk about it today.
We'll talk about it next week. But it's just so funny how emphatic you are about it. And
I know, it's cutting a good promo there.
I know. That's why I just wanted to bust it.
But I also wanted to use it as my hot pick just so I could take it away from you.
I almost made it my hot pick. Almost. Because I was like, oh, well, we'll talk about it in full next week. But I kind of want to talk about it a little bit this week. We'll do the full review. I'll just say I loved it. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, but we will talk about it next week, so I'll make sure I see it this week.
Yes. And you knew about the after credits because I texted you.
You told me, yes.
And I'm like,
I did know about the Stan Lee cameo thing because people were posting screenshots of it.
Yeah, well, you knew he was going to have a cameo.
I knew he was going to have one, but I don't like. I know he's in Avengers 4. I don't want to know what it is. You know what I mean? I want to see.
No, I know. I didn't know what the cameo was. I knew there was one. I didn't know what it was. Didn't see the screenshots, and I will say it did bring tears to the eyes.
Yeah, I'm
because
sure.
It's so perfect.
Yeah.
It's so perfect. And just as a long-term Spider-Man fan and ancillary characters and whatever else, when they hit the after credits scene, just a caption pops up first, and I was just like, yes.
Yeah.
So if you're a big fan of like all the big Spider-Verse and whatever, you'll be like, all right.
Okay.
Depending how well you know it. But
I cannot wait to see it next week.
All right. And we'll talk about it next week. But so my alternative was another great.
Hang on a second. Jen!
Yeah.
When are the kids with us?
Next week?
Right, but during the day, are they at school?
No.
So we can go see this movie next Friday.
No, they have school Friday though.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I thought maybe Christmas vacation started early or something.
No, it's gonna probably from that Saturday till
just like
the second.
The Thanksgiving vacation started the week before.
Oh, they got a full week. Nice.
Yeah, and it starts like the Friday before. So I don't know. That's why I always ask questions because I'm always like, wait, why are they in school?
Take them out of school. It's that important.
We almost did that for Infinity Gauntlet. I was like, and then I ended up getting out of work like early, so we went. But because I work late hours, but it was like we got to see this movie, early. We got to see it either Thursday night or we'd have to see it Friday during the day when no one's going to be there.
You can't everybody spoil this one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's what we did for Avengers Infinity Gauntlet. We ended up seeing it Thursday night, but usually like that was the plan. Like, well, we're taking them to school, and if it comes up, let's just say it's some sort of a hearing. Well, it's Infinity Gauntlet. Like,
Infinity War is important.
What this is exactly what you take a kid out of school for.
I'm sure I have stories like that from when I was a kid. So yeah.
I cut out of what was it? Revenge of the Sith. I cut out of work for that.
All of the prequel movies and the current sequels, I have taken off of work.
Yeah. Because you want to be able to enjoy it. You can't enjoy it at a 7 p.m. Friday night show. You just can't.
Well, no. And the fact that it now comes out on like Wednesday or Thursday night.
Yeah.
And it's just like, well, I can't do the Thursday night midnight shows anymore. I'm too old for that.
Well, I'll do the Thursday night like 8 o'clock shows because again, no one's going to be there. Actually, Infinity War had more people in it than I thought would be, but it wasn't crowded to the point we couldn't enjoy it.
Yeah, they sell out here, and besides, I get off work too late to get to a movie on time.
Yeah.
Although I will say, I had quit my job. I'm not gonna remember what year.
You quit your job? All right. Fuck those jerks. All right.
I want to say it was Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
When that came out, I had just quit my job. And I'm just like, all right, well, I'm on my 2 weeks. So I'm literally going to run out of the office one night and go see that, like on a Wednesday night. So I'm literally there with my laptop bag still and whatever. I'm just like, all right, well, what are they going to do? Fire me if I leave a few minutes early to go see the movie?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I guess that was 2007, 2008. That was fun.
Oh, I thought you meant you quit this job.
This podcast job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm putting a notice now.
All right. All right.
All right. So my hot pick this week turns out to be another Greg Berlanti TV show.
Yeah.
He who is behind The Arrow, The Flash, The Legends, The Supergirl, The Riverdale, and The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina.
Yeah.
And I have to say, it's a Netflix made for Netflix show.
Yeah.
So it's a little more cursing, a little more, kind of nudity. And I know making that face, and it's who knew.
Yeah.
And it's really entertaining. It's a lot darker than the other shows because it's dealing with witches and evil, and they're all hail
nice.
Satan.
Yeah.
And it's not horror directly. It's kind of veiled horror, so it's a lot more accessible. And it's fun. It's cool. It's a lot of worshiping Satan, which is I got no problem with that. And it's a good show. It's very solid. It's sort of like Riverdale, but without the annoying parts.
Is it kind of like Preacher?
Not that dark and gritty and violent.
Okay.
Because it's still supposed to be a young adult show.
Okay.
But
so it's like a Hellboy movie.
Yeah, probably on that, but a little darker. Because Hellboy doesn't get that dark.
Yeah.
But yeah, and
this new one might though.
This new one might. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh man.
I'm still disappointed they're not ending the trilogy, but whatever.
I can't wait to see this though.
Yeah, well, that's March.
So many good movies. So many. So many good movies.
So yeah, so it's just a lot of fun, a lot of, everything I liked about Riverdale without the annoying teen stuff, because it's, less of that like teen drama to it.
Yeah.
But it's there and it leads more into the plot than this one's dating that one and that one's dating that one. What I liked about Riverdale the first season was the murder mystery aspects and didn't really care about the characters, which is why I gave up after the first season when we finished reviewing that.
So should we? Oh, I'll talk to you about this one with them. Never
watch Riverdale again?
No. Oh God, no. I can't. You go to Hot Topics and the store is loaded with Riverdale merch.
Oh, I know. I was at Comic-Con in October here in New York. Lots of people wearing Riverdale merch.
Wow.
So it's cool that Archie is cool again.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind, but again, it's not for me. It's not supposed to be, No. So it's fine. Obviously, it's working. If they, if they have merch in stores that are predominantly featured, then it's working.
And it's selling.
It's selling, and people are into it, which is good. For the culture that I enjoy being a part of, it's working, and I'm glad.
Yeah, me too.
Jen and I talked about Supergirl, and we were both like, she's adorable. She plays the role really well. Will we watch it? No, it's not for us, though. No. It's for like an 11, 12-year-old age group.
Yeah.
So I will say, for that, it's probably great.
And I do love some of the characters that are on that show from just years of reading comics, like the Legion of Superheroes and Martian Manhunter.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Like it was cool to see Brainiac 5 on TV.
Yeah, I get you.
That's not my Brainiac 5.
Yeah.
So
it's cool that they use that character though.
Yeah. And I'm all for it. And it's, but like XS, who was a Legion character starting in the 90s. She's on Flash now, and I love it for that. Because I love these characters, so it's cool to see them, being acted out, even if it's not anything I'm going to watch regularly.
Yeah.
It's nice to see that there's Superman on TV right now, and he's not dark and brooding and whatever.
Yeah, that's what I said. They did it right. They did the character really well. I think the guy playing, like I said, the guy playing him was really good. The angle they took with the character was good.
And even when he was playing the dark version of himself, it was enough of a difference. Like he was a good enough actor to like play two different characters.
Play the same character differently.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like when George Burns played God and the Devil in Oh God, You Devil.
Kind of played them the same, but George Burns was a great guy, but he didn't have a lot of range.
Especially he was in his 70s or 80s at that point.
if not more. I mean, really. Yeah, no, like in those Oh God movies, he didn't show a lot of range. It was
No.
the same thing he was doing on the Bob Hope specials.
Yeah,
And,
it was himself.
Yeah.
It was no different than when he played George Burns on the Burns and Allen show. He was just
There
playing
you go.
himself, smoking a cigar, and he set everyone up so that he could be the foil.
Exactly. But he was fantastic at it.
Yeah.
I think part of comedy now is nobody wants to be the foil anymore.
No, I was just about to say no one does, and I think that's why people get quote unquote offended by jokes, because no one wants to be the butt of a joke, and it's sad, because that's for television. That's what always worked best, when there's someone to be the butt of the joke. And like if you watch the old stuff, like the Honeymooners, Ralph Cramden would go from being the setup person, talking to Norton, to them pivoting and turning and being the butt of the joke with Alice in the same, not even just the same scene, in the same minute.
Yeah.
Oh,
he would set up the joke. She would tell the joke. He'd be the butt of the joke.
Right, but then he would pivot, and Norton would be the butt of the joke, and it just went instantly, and it was flawless. I mean, The Odd Couple was the same way. One of my favorite shows. I mean, even All in the Family. Archie was often the butt of the joke, but there are times when you watch it, you're like, oh no, Mike is a fucking dummy too.
Yeah, well, in that show, everybody kind of took a turn in the barrel.
Yeah,
but
and that's perfect. That's what makes great TV shows.
But a lot of it was that the point was that Archie's not as smart as he thinks he is.
Right.
His heart is usually in the right place.
Usually.
But some of the things he said would not.
Right.
So
he was a terrible person, but at the same time he had some redeemable qualities. And here's Mike, who's a very good person, but at the same time had some shitty aspects of his personality.
Yeah. Well, so last thoughts. Is there anybody right now who plays a good foil? Good butt of the joke. Because I'm thinking now, and there's nobody who's coming to mind.
I mean, I didn't see any of the new Roseanne, so I don't know how John Goodman is, but he was great on the original run of that show.
Yeah,
I think everyone goes nuts for Last Man Standing with Tim Allen, but he's not. He's never the butt of the joke. Everyone else is.
So I haven't watched the show, so I can't have an opinion on that. I know he used to be on the other one, the Tool Time Home Improvement.
Tool Time, he was perfect. He was the foil for the joke, but he never looked stupid. He just looked like he was being brought up to speed on what was going on.
It's an ignorance.
But
he's not ignorant, but there was an ignorance to his character.
But he always was trying to do what he thought was best.
Yeah.
Even if it was wrong. And then you had Wilson, who would enlighten him, and he'd be like, "Oh, okay." And then he'd go and he'd set everything straight. But he did really well. I used to really enjoy it. So I know people crap on it because it's hokey sitcom, but it was enjoyable.
Yeah, I watched it back in the day. I enjoyed it at the time. I haven't watched it since, so I don't know if it's if it's stood up well. But
the new show, it's all politics, and he tries it to be where his conservative views are right. The thing like with Archie Bunker and All in the Family, this is what people don't get. Why people say all the time, "Oh, we used to make these jokes all the time," and no one got offended. It was because it was shining light on how that behavior and thought process was wrong. A show like Last Man Standing shows how that thought process is right.
Yeah.
And how being open-minded and multiculturalism is wrong.
I don't know. I think the commercials all I saw literally were like jokes about them changing networks.
Yeah.
And praise God. Like
yeah.
I'm like, you really that's your audience then? And
yeah. Like they're not going for the New York Jewish guy to watch.
Yeah, no. They're basically trying to get the middle of America.
Yeah, they're trying to get the Fox News viewer,
exactly,
to pull in. But I mean, Everyone Loves Raymond. He was just a buffoon.
Yeah,
King of Queens. He was a buffoon.
It's the same show.
Yeah, I know, but like you could go through it. Like there isn't someone who's like the good foil. It's just like you're an outright dummy, or you're the smartest person in the room. No one does that. No one does that pivot.
Yeah, because I mean, every sitcom we're talking about is at least 20 years old.
Right, but I don't know what's on now, so I can't.
Yeah, that's just it. Like, I don't watch sitcoms now either. But like, even Seinfeld, like they took turns.
Seinfeld, everyone was a foil and everyone was a hero.
Yeah, it just depended on the episode or the joke.
Yeah, and the situation. Yeah.
Yeah, just depending on the situation. It's if you had the space pen or not. Oh, you took
Right.
the pen? You don't take his pen.
How could you take his pen?
All right, maybe that joke didn't really have a foil to it, but it's the first one that popped in my head.
But Jerry was the foil because he took it thinking this is the right thing to
Yeah.
do. Someone's giving me a gift. I'd be rude to say no.
Yeah. But that wasn't the joke, and then the jokes all came out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm like, that's the problem. Like, neither of us really watch sitcoms anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the last sitcom I can remember watching is The Office. And
Yeah.
Steve Carell was
He
a
was
foil.
He was a foil for the joke. But so was Andy. So was Dwight. But at the same time, they weren't.
Again, yeah, it depended on the joke, really. But yeah. But like, it was a show
Jim
where
and Pam were never the foil. They were always the smartest people in the room.
That's it. They were the foils to each other.
Yeah, to each other. Yes.
Yeah, nobody ever got anything over on them
except
each other. So it was all right. But but at times that got annoying.
Yeah.
But yeah, but like even that show is 10 years old. And
yeah. So I mean, it's probably I don't know, but we don't watch much. It's TV, so you can't say.
I actually was watching some Office reruns 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I was waiting for the girlfriend to get ready.
Yeah.
So, that's why that one popped into my head. But even that, 10 years old.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's just like, I don't think comedians want to be the foil anymore.
No. You watch comedians in cars getting coffee, and you get that vibe from them that they don't want to be the foil of a joke, that they are the smartest people going. And I'm not going to say that they're not intelligent. It's just nobody wants to be that. And that's what makes, like, Cosby was the same way. He was the foil of some of the jokes when it came to his wife, even with the kids. And other times he was smart. Like, you have to pivot. You have to do that both side, that other side of it.
Cosby was the foil, but he was also the heart of the show.
Yeah.
So, yes, everybody, it's make fun of him. But when, the right thing to do needs to be said, it came out of him.
Yes. Which is why Home Improvement worked. It was very much the same formula. It might be the same producers.
I believe it is, actually. You're right. Carsey Warner.
Yeah.
But it's just like, it wasn't that they were making fun of, they were making fun at his expense, not making fun of him.
Right.
Because they knew he's a good father, he's a good man.
They were all laughing together.
Yeah.
About
like, Bill Cosby would just like make a face, like, all right, you got me. Yeah, exactly.
We'll get the Jello pudding pops. Oh.
I'm glad you went that direction instead of another one. All right, but
because that's how I want to remember Bill Cosby.
I know.
Is he a terrible human being? Yes. In 2018, yes, definitely. But those shows were still shows that you could watch and get something from.
I think they kind of, except for the sweaters, still hold up.
Yeah, the sweaters don't hold up.
The sweaters do not hold up. But, because they were in reruns up until the moment, like, all this came down. And whatever. But, but Different Strokes and Facts of Life and all of these, still are around. Not all of them have the foil thing, but, like, these are wholesome sitcoms.
Right.
That it's a mix of nostalgia and the fact that just they still work.
They do. And I know it's like, well, we're big on reboots. If you're going to reboot it, though, something, like, you have to reboot the formula, not the premise.
Yeah. I think it's
because if you take that formula, you don't have to reboot that. You take the formula because it works, and that's how you go forward with something new. It's the formula that, but like you're saying, it's a mix, yes. But they just want to reboot the concept, not the formula.
Well, obviously, we know what show really needs to be rebooted. Automan.
Oh, yes.
Man. As I posted on Twitter because you posted about that show.
Yeah, it was so good. It was so good.
It was so cheesy, but it was so good.
It was the 80s. Everything was cheesy in the 80s.
I know. Yeah. I'm afraid to watch reruns of that one, so I don't think I ever will.
Oh, no. I'm going to watch it. I will watch one. I will watch one. I think if we should do Twitch, and I will fucking watch an episode of Automan.
All right.
Christmas weekend, next weekend.
Well,
Truthfully, I might have to do this.
well,
Do we have a Geekodrome Twitch thing?
We'll start one if we have to.
Let's throw it out there. I know Gunma will watch.
I may need a adult beverage to watch that with, though.
I don't even. You'll have to explain to me how it works because I don't understand how Twitch works. But yeah, we can get this going. I say we do it.
All right, we're gonna figure out the tech and get that going.
Yeah. Yes. Seriously, it's not just one of the things that we say we're gonna do and we don't. But yes, we will.
Live watch on Twitch. So I have notes, and I will try to get that going.
We should do that next weekend.
All right.
It can't be Saturday. Wait, it can't be Saturday because I'm on call.
We'll have to see just because it's the holiday weekend.
Yes.
And I have to. The girlfriend and I are doing the holiday over the weekend, and then doing the family thing.
Yes.
Over Christmas. So
right.
I have limited availability. We'll figure it out. If not, maybe during the week, during the holiday week or something.
Okay.
But we will find. We'll find a way to do this
before New Year's Eve, or we can do it New Year's Eve.
All right. We'll see.
Okay.
We'll get it on the schedule. But
all right.
Until then, this has been Geekodrome. To find more Geekodrome, check us out at geekodrome.co. We're on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, blah, blah, blah. Wherever you find podcasts, you can find us. We're good like that. We're on Twitter at Geekodrome Pod. We're on Facebook at Geekodrome Podcast. We'll soon to be on Twitch, I hope. We'll see. I am John, and I can be found on Twitter at JustJohn. He is Don Stugots, and he can be found at Don Stugots. What a coincidence.
Whoa. It's like I planned that 10 years ago.
I know, right?
Oof.
That only leaves one more thing.